Today I'm sharing easy spring DIY decor ideas that are budget friendly, simple to make, and perfect for refreshing your spring home decor. Welcome to the Chic Show. This is a simple wood box that looks like it came from Target originally, and I thrifted this, and I'm going to be painting it with plaster chalk paint. I'm also going to be using IOD's trimmings for mold with air dry clay. This is a really neat mold. It has two larger trimmings that will fit together end to end if you need a longer piece. So as you can see, I'm using the thinner one. I'm going to place it on my box and I will attach it using some Type Bond Quick and Thick, and then I'll cut off the excess clay. My clay was a bit dry because I haven't used it in a while, so it was a little hard to work with. Now I will apply another coat of that plaster chalk paint to both the box and the mold. I did apply my paint while the clay was still wet, but as I said, it was kind of dried out, so that worked in my favor as far as painting it. So I went ahead and did that, so that would help prevent any other cracking, and then I let that dry completely. The next day I came back with some clear wax. This is Jolie's clear wax, and I applied that to the entire box and the mold. The clear wax will allow me to work with the dark wax that I'm going to be using next without the dark wax being too harsh. I used an old chip brush to apply the dark wax all over the mold and the box. And then I went back with a dry paper towel and wiped it back. Also decided this little box needed some feet, so I used these little wooden angels from Dollar Tree, and I removed their paper wings, and then I painted them with the plaster paint and went over those with the dark wax as well. DIY makes some iron patina, and I'm using a chip brush to apply that iron paint in just random places all over the box and the mold. I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I'll go back and go over it again with the iron paint, and that's when we'll apply the patina. Using a wet wipe, I went back and kind of dabbed away at that iron paint so that it wasn't concentrated in certain areas. As I said, I did do this again with some more of the iron paint, and while it's still wet, I'm going to spray it with the green patina spray that comes with it. Then all it needs to do is sit and dry completely. I left it overnight and gave it time to work its magic. And here we are the next day. You can see how that rust has set in. Now I want to add some other colors to this. So I'm going back with just some black chalk paint. This is ink by Waverly, and I'm just dabbing that on in different places. Also, to make this look more like it's rusted metal, I took some gold rub and buff and I went over mainly the mold so that I could bring out all of those beautiful details. I didn't really know where I was going with this project, so I just kind of played it by ear, but I love the way it turned out. So the next step was to use IOD's insignia stamps, and I used one of the little wreaths and then the letter M for my name, and I placed that on the front of the box. I decided the black was a little too flat, so I used a gold ink pad and stamped over it a couple of times until I got the depth that I was looking for. The only thing left to do for this little planter is glue on those little wooden legs. Thrifted these little wood rounds, and I'm going to be painting over the front of this one with Waverly chalk paint and plaster. Once that's done, I'm going to be mixing together these two milk paints to make more of a bird's egg blue. I did mix it a bit thick because I was hoping that I would get a lot of cracks and crackles. Although I didn't get all of those crackles that I was hoping for, I did have kind of a textured look and was able to sand that back to give it more of an aged look. I sanded around the edges and then sanded over the top, and some of those thicker places rubbed away so that I could see that plaster paint underneath. Chose to use this bird's nest from IOD's Petiche stamp set. I also used some air dry clay in a little bird mold that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to paint that little bird with that same plaster chalk paint. I drilled a hole in the top of the wood round, and I made a little bow and hanger for it using jute twine and some of this ribbon from Dollar Tree. I tied knots in all the right places so that my twine wouldn't move around. White Bond Quick and Thick is the glue that I chose to attach the bird to the nest. This would make a perfect little gift tag or even just a little decoration to hang from your lamp, as I have done here. This is a wood piece from Dollar Tree, and I first gave it a coat of white chalk paint by Waverly, and now I'm going to go over it and give it 2 coats of Fusion Mineral Paint in Peony. This little decoupage paper is from Sonnet's Maker's box from last year. It's painted by Connie at the Painted Photographer, and I'm just using a wet paintbrush to go around the part that I want to decoupage onto my square. And then I'm going to tear it, and it's going to leave a nice little jagged edge around the whole flower pot. I'm using liquid patina to adhere the decoupage paper down to the front of the square. Once I get my little starter strip done, I'm going to go ahead and finish adding that decoupage paper down, and I'm also giving it a coat of liquid patina on the top. This is a rub-on transfer from Redesigned by Prima, and I'm going to be cutting out parts of it to place these words all around the decoupage paper. I'm cutting out different pieces and placing them on my wood piece to be sure exactly where I want them and to make sure that they're going to fit before I remove the backing paper and rub them down. And now I'll go back and fill in the sides. Once all my transfers have been applied, I'm going to go back and give it one final coat of liquid patina. I think this is a very sweet piece, and I would love to know what you think. I loved this little garden sign that I got from, well, it's from Dollar Tree. They had some kind of like this last year at Dollar General. I'm going to give it a sand with my little finger sander so that the paint I'm going to use will have a better chance of sticking. Then I took it outside and I gave it a coat of spray paint just in black, and now I'm using some of Dixie Belle's patina paint, and this is the iron patina paint, and I'm just brushing it in random places over the sign. Once that paint has dried, I go back over it again because the patina spray needs to be applied to the wet paint. So one coat is dry, the next coat is wet, and I'm spraying on the patina spray. And I made a couple of other patina sprays as well to see if they would work. The patina spray I have is green. I made one using salt and vinegar and some blue paint, and then salt and vinegar and some yellow paint to see if I could get some other shades of rust, if you will. Here's the way it turned out, and while I do like the rusty look of it, it is hard to read the letters. So I went back with a little bit of black rub and buff and went over each of the letters just so that they would stand out a little bit. I liked the way this looked, and it didn't seem to give it too much of a new look to it, so I went ahead and went over the other details of the sign as well. I used a piece of rusty floral wire to hang the sign, just fed it through the original holes at the top, twisted it around, and this little garden sign was ready to be hung. If you love budget-friendly DIYs, home decorating, and seasonal crafts, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a new video. And if you're looking for another video to watch right now, I recommend this one right here. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.